Is there an easy, less greasy way to make crispy fried chicken at home? I'll be testing traditional deep fried, a lot of oil, a lot of fun, and my colleague and dear friend Xueci will come in to help me air fry. Don't worry, we tested the recipe together and we've been tested for COVID together. We are in the clear. I have a whole chicken here that's been cut up, and there's a piece that everyone likes, and also it's just a really economical way to use a whole chicken. But you can also just use whatever chicken pieces you like best. I'm going to quickly brine the chicken just for an hour. The chicken wing is going to get beautifully plumped up and the salt in there is going to season it all the way through. To make the very simple brine, I have a litre of water and 100 grams of salt. I'm just going to whisk that together till it dissolves. And we're just going to submerge them. Ding, ding, ding. Cover that. Biodegradable. Oh, I'm not left-handed. Cover the top. This is just going to keep it airtight, and we're just going to put it in the fridge for an hour and then start breading. Don't look at my other chicken. We are going to bread the chicken for both methods of cooking in exactly the same way. Add some plain flour to a bowl, 400 grams, and then a couple of tablespoons of starch. It's cornstarch here. It's going to help for a crispier result. There are many ways to season fried chicken. I have a whole article on that if you want to get some inspiration. But to keep it simple, we are just going to use 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, 1 tablespoon of ground garlic, and 1 tablespoon of dried onion powder. And I'm also going to add a teaspoon of salt. The chicken's already been brined, so it is quite seasoned, but layering the salts through each kind of application will lead to a more cohesive result. So just whisk that together. We are just going to coat them lightly in that flour. I'm going to take my ring off. Rings, plural. It's really nice to have a whole station set up, so get yourself a baking sheet that you could just put the first round of breaded chicken on. So just a light layer of flour, and that's going to help the buttermilk brine stick. We've got some quite large pieces here, but just reminds me of good old KFC as a child. I really like homemade fried chicken now. Total convert. Are you proud of my station, Hannah? It's my pride and joy. To make the buttermilk dredge, we will just beat in 2 eggs and that other little teaspoon of salt and 450 mils of buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you can mix 2/3 of yogurt, 1/3 of milk. All right, to create that kind of like fast foody, shaggy look, I'm gonna add, what's that, like 3 tablespoons of the buttermilk mixture to our flour. I'm just going to use some chopsticks to disperse it through. This means you're going to get little clumps in there, and those little clumps are going to stick to the chicken and create the crispiest little crunchettes. Okay, 4 stages. Chicken, buttermilk, flour, waiting station. Keep one hand wet, one hand dry. So a light dip in the buttermilk and just shake off the excess. Switch hands. I like to kind of bury it and then lift it out. As you can see, you've got these like shaggy little coatings there. And yes, shaggy, it was me. I have to say I'm very impressed at how clean my hands are. This 2-step method has really worked well. Oh, I've just ruined everything. Now, while we heat up the oil, we're gonna let the chicken just sit for 10 minutes. This is gonna help the breading kind of stick to it more. So when you bite in, it's going to be a bite full of succulent, crispy delight. So, traditional deep frying. I have a really big stainless steel pot here, and it's about 2.5 litres of vegetable oil in there. You could also use peanut oil, which has the highest smoke point, but vegetable oil is a little bit more economical. The stainless steel is going to give you a little bit more flexibility for like the temperature to drop if it needs to, increase if it needs to. It's more reactive, so that can be also safer to use at home. Safety first. You always want to make sure your pan's only about 2/3 full of oil. And what I'm doing now is heating it up over a medium-high heat. You don't want to go too high too fast, but also it takes about 10 minutes to get heated up to 175 degrees, which is the temperature we want. By a thermometer, there is no other way to kind of safely fry at home unless you're able to read oil temperatures with your eyes. I don't think that's possible. Temperatures are rising. I'm a little bit worried that in this entire time that I'm waiting for the oil to fry, Xueci could have air fried an entire batch of chicken. I think I'm going to win because everybody knows that fat is flavor. 4 degrees to go. Actually, that's 6 degrees, I can't count. 5 degrees to go. I'm going to get ready to transfer the chicken over. Dip it in, not from far away because that will splash. The temperature of the oil drops when you put the chicken in. So I'm only going to put about 3 pieces in so they have enough, not in there, so that they have enough room to kind of move around and cook evenly. We're at 175. Ooh, it's going in. It's always important to fry similarly sized pieces at the same time because then they'll all cook evenly. Get in the bath. It's got like a nice even temperature because the oil's not flying everywhere, it's just kind of like bubbling over the surface, so I can stand here. You can give it a gentle stir once it's been in there for a little bit. It's going to take either sort of 8 minutes for like a smaller boneless breast piece, but up to 14 to 16 for like a larger piece on the bone. Could someone actually put on a timer for like 10 minutes? You can also manage your temperature just by checking it as you're frying. That's been frying for almost 10 minutes. For something like chicken breast off the bone at 71 degrees, that's cooked. And something on the bone or like a darker meat is cooked at 74 degrees. I'm going to fish out a beautiful crispy piece of chicken and just put my thermometer in. We're at 77, so chicken is cooked. So I'm going to transfer it to some paper towels. It might seem counterintuitive, but actually the chicken that stays the crispiest needs to be drained on paper towels, not just a rack, because this absorbs all the oil. As soon as they come out and they're still oily, sprinkle over some flaky sea salt, everyone's favorite friend. In between batches of frying, once you've taken your first batch out, just make sure that your oil is back at about 175, so just add your next. Set your timer and begin again. I'm just gonna chill here with my batches. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at myself. There is someone I'm very happy to introduce you to who is here to do the air frying. An air fried angel.
Should I introduce myself? Okay. Hi, I'm Xueci, editor from Kitchen Stories. You may have not seen me, but you should know me.
You should know her.
Hi. So we're gonna try a more healthier or like more hyped equipment, which is an air fryer. And it's like a small convection oven. It has like a small chamber here, so you can put your food inside. And the hot air will sort of like circulate, and because it's so small, so it should heat up really quickly. And it will use less oil.
Will it heat up?
She used like 3 liters. I probably use like 3 tablespoons.
I would like to interrupt your trash talk and say that I use 2.5 liters.
Okay. I'm like sort of defending this method. I'm not sponsored by any air fryer or any air frying committee. I will, brush this with vegetable oil, like both sides.
Do you think you're gonna get this crispy?
No. From a point of view of science, it's not possible because oil transfer heat twice as much as air. I read that last night.
Wow, I was like, wow, when did you get so good at this?
Here are like a lot of programs you can choose from, and we're gonna choose chicken, and then I will just add up the temperature. I want to go 195. Is that too much?
It is changing the method properly. Are we allowed to do this in this game?
I think so, because I don't know. I'm gonna go to 195 and for 24 minutes, and I'm gonna start it right away because I want it to preheat. In theory, you don't have to preheat the air fryer because it heats up so quickly, but I want to try because I read about it and I think it might work better. Now it's been preheating for like 3 minutes sort of, and we're gonna put our chicken into this chamber. As you can see, it's pretty small. I'm gonna just leave some space so the air could circulate. Otherwise, you will have like one part crispy, one part like soggy, which we don't want. Depending on the chicken pieces, it takes from like 15 minutes to 23, 25 minutes. And then halfway through, we will have to take it out and then brush more oil. It feels like yours is much quicker, but she actually took like half an hour to heat up the oil.
Yeah, I did start.
Which is off camera, so that's.
It took 10 minutes. It took 10 minutes.
Come on. Information. If you are afraid of deep frying, I guess this is a meet me in the middle choice.
I traditionally have not been the person in my life that deep fried. I was scared. There is nothing to be scared about. I was shocked, surprised, and overjoyed at how easy it was. I am sponsored by Vegetable Oil United.
So it's halfway through, and then we can take it out and brush more oil, and then also flip them. It actually already looks pretty nice and golden. Flip them. And then we're gonna put it back in. Yeah, then let's wait for 10 minutes.
I wanna eat.
So.
Sorry.
So it's pretty cool. It has a timer, which you hear beep, Yes, it's done. So our second batch of, I know it's done, don't beep anymore. Okay, let's see. Wow, looks good.
I hate to say it, but it looks great.
Nice. I'm gonna put some salt, like what Ruby did. I'm a copycat.
No, it's a controlled experiment, same conditions, although you did have a higher heat, but let's not mention that. You totally broke the rules. Keep going, keep frying your chicken.
So you don't have to wash it between batches. And some people put baking paper inside. I don't think it's necessary. So again, we're gonna select the chicken program, and now I probably would do 185 because those pieces are like smaller and also more fair to Ruby's whatever game it is. So let's wait another 10 minutes and let's cut. Should I stay?
Now it's time for the tasting. Okay, bring your pieces to the tasting table.
The same pieces?
Well,
Okay.
yeah, we've each got a breast.
Somehow mine looks better.
Well, beauty's in the eye of the beholder because I prefer these ones.
Okay.
You say yours looks better. Why do you say that?
I prefer like not so dark brown, and she's gonna switch.
I do have some pieces which are a lighter color. I actually prefer, I like it kind of like this, but
Yeah.
it just depends when you take it out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you want some mayo? Sriracha mayo?
Yes. Look good. I bite into a bone.
I think she's trying to say she's bit into the bone. Mmm, yum. A really succulent chicken inside. I mean, that's looking very succulent too. I'm extremely happy with my deep fried chicken.
I think it's nice. It's crispy outside and juicy inside. And I would assume yours is crispier, but let's see.
Let's try it.
Let's try.
It's so succulent inside. I'm really crispy on the outside.
I think hers is definitely more crunchier. Like you have more of a bite to the skin, but inside it's similar.
Inside it's very similar. You get more of the flavors from the seasoning of the breading in the fried chicken one, the deep fried chicken. However, the chicken is super succulent in the air fryer, possibly more succulent than the deep fried version. If you weren't testing side by side, you'd be super happy with this. I might even say this is as good.
I was actually positively surprised by the results. The reason if I will buy it, it's not because that I don't like it, it's because of space.
There's a hierarchy of appliances, yeah.
Yes, I have a hierarchy of appliances. A rice cooker on the top.
I don't like having like too many extra things around the kitchen, and I find deep frying very fun. And I personally like the result better. I like the way the breading sticks. I just think if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If you're gonna cook a big batch, probably deep fry is sort of the reasonable way to go. But this actually allows you to cook like only one chicken thigh or something because you don't use that much oil.
A single fried chicken thigh.
A single fried chicken thigh.
Okay. We came here today with one question. Is there an easier way to make crispy fried chicken at home? I deep fried.
I air fried.
We tried, and the result is a
Thai. And what's the difference?
Go forth, deep fry or air fry, and be happy.
And let us know. With crispiness.
Yeah. Crispiness? Christmas?
Crispiness.
Christmas? I don't know.